Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video I am going to talk about my miscarriage. So today is July 28th. Yes, July 28th of 2019. Today is a month that I had my miscarriage. So I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna go because I never gone through this, so um, you might, I'm sort of nervous to talk about it, but I know a lot of people do have miscarriages. Um, and so yeah, I just want to tell you my story of, of my miscarriage and all that stuff. So, okay, so let's go back to May 15th, right? Yes, May 15th. Me and my husband, we've been trying to have another baby because we have two girls, so we wanted a third one, and so we were trying, and finally on May 15th, I did a pregnancy test, and I also recorded it so I can put that on my channel, you know. Um, and I found out I was pregnant on the 15th of May of 2019. I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, finally, like, it's not a negative, it's a positive. I was so excited, super excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And so yeah, I kept it to myself for a while, I believe. Sorry, I had to go back and look at my calendar and figure out the dates. So yes, May 15th I found out, and then on May 19th we were in Texas, and we were in we were looking at the house that we were going to buy, and which we bought. And that's where I am right now, in the new house. And so I just put, like, in the third bedroom, which it was going to be the babies. I put the baby. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not all there. So yeah, I put the pregnancy test in a bag, in a gift bag and all that stuff. And then I bought pacifiers and for the girls, and I bought 2 bags for the kids and put the pacifier in, and then my husband the pregnancy test, and I placed them into the bedroom number 3, and I told them, oh, go to that bedroom, whatever, and they opened it. And oh my gosh, like, my kids didn't even know what was going on. Like, they just saw the pacifier and they're like, oh, is this for me? Like, But my husband looked in the bag and he saw the pregnancy test. Like, we were all excited and everything. And, I told my friends and family and stuff like that, because I didn't think of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I never experienced this before. So to me was like, okay, like, whatever, you know. I'm sorry, I'm very comfy right now. And I was so excited, super excited. And then, so by then, when I told, you know, my husband and the kids, I was maybe, I believe already 5 weeks or 6 weeks. I think I was 6 weeks um, because I didn't really want to get my hopes up, and that's why it took a long time to do a pregnancy test. So I think I was already 6 weeks, maybe five and some days going on to 6 weeks, and then so yeah, I was so excited, and then because we've been waiting for this for so long, like because I've always said, once my little one is in school, we're gonna try and stuff like that. So it was very hard because my husband worked from home. I mean, away from home. So my husband worked away from home, and it was very hard. And it took like literally 7 months to get pregnant. It's not because I couldn't. It was just that he was gone. He was working, so it was hard for him for us to try on those days. Whenever, you know, the magic happens or whatever. Like the egg and all that. um, so yeah, it was very hard. So I was very excited, and then I never went to see the doctors. Um, I called like maybe around like 6 weeks. They're like, it's too soon, too early to even hear the baby's heartbeat. So I was like, you know what? I'll just wait until maybe 8 weeks. So 8 weeks came along, and then I called because I was in Louisiana at that time. And so I called, and they're like, no, we won't be able to hear the baby's heartbeat because we will get like the blood work and all that stuff. So I was like, like, what's the whole point of me paying out of my pocket because I did not have insurance? So that was, the reason, because I really wanted to go to the doctor's office so I can hear the baby's heartbeat. So never happened. And then yeah, we finally closed on the house on June 26th, and I believe the next day I made an appointment so I can hear. No, was it the 25th? I don't know, it's June 24th or 25th, somewhere around there. I don't remember, but yeah, I made an appointment. I went to the doctor. I was so excited. And then, the kids were excited to hear the baby's heartbeat. So when it was time for that moment, they came in, and the lady was hearing, trying to find the heartbeat, and the girls were excited, and we were all excited. Um, they couldn't hear the baby's heartbeat, so I was like, okay, fine, because I know with my second one, uh, they didn't find it, and another technician came and all that stuff to hear the baby's heartbeat, so they found it. So I wasn't really like worried. Um, and so yeah, they couldn't. They tried. She tried for a while, and there's no baby's heartbeat. So they told my husband and my girls to go to leave the room, and then so the doctor came in, and she told me that they were gonna do a vaginal ultrasound thing. So she did it, and she couldn't hear. She couldn't see the how I call it, the little flicker. She couldn't see the flicker, right? And or hear the baby's heartbeat or anything like that. So she's like, "Are you sure you're right with your dates?" I'm like, "Yes, ma'am. I'm supposed to be like 11 weeks today." And she's like, "Well, the baby's measuring 7 weeks, but that was the doctor doing it. She wasn't like the I guess the technician, like that really knows about ultrasounds and all that stuff. So she said that it was measuring like 7 weeks and 3 days or something like that. So okay, so they told me, okay, come the next day, so you can see the technician, so you can do an ultrasound, like in depth. And I'm like, okay. So I was like, just trying to think positive and all that stuff. And so yeah, the next day came, and um, you know, so I went to the doctor's office, and then the technician said, "Oh, I can't see the baby's heartbeat, blah blah blah." Like there was no flicker, and she was doing so much stuff that I never seen. So she said that the baby was measuring 8 weeks and 3 days, but my sac was measuring 10 weeks. So in a way, my sac was still growing, you know, because I did read on Google that sometimes a sac, can still grow when the baby, um, when the baby, is gone or whatever. Um, so I was like, oh my gosh, and my husband was there with me, um, and like I was getting worried because, you know, I know that wasn't normal. So they said, okay, because they checked my what is it, some type of level, right? Um, to see if it went low or high. And they were gonna get the results on Friday. So I had to wait on Friday. So they told me to go home, come back Friday to get the results. And then Thursday schedule. I don't really remember the dates, but it was like June like 24th through, I don't remember when I went to the doctor. Maybe the 24th, because the 26th, like the 20, maybe 25th, I went to the doctor's. The 26th I couldn't because we were closing on the house, and then the 28th, yes, the 28th, I went to the doctor's that day in the morning. And so that day, all day, I was just like bleeding. Um, and I would tell my husband, "This is not normal. This is not normal. I know this is not normal." And he goes, "Well, because they did put the wand inside or whatever. Maybe they hurt you, whatever." I'm like, "No, they didn't. This is not normal." And I try not to think about it. I went through on my day. I was at Home Depot and all that stuff, and then I went to the restroom, and literally, I was like literally bleeding. And so, like, I got up and I wiped myself, and I went where my husband was, trying not to worry about it. And then, yeah, the second time that I had to go to the restroom in Home Depot, like, it wouldn't, like, it just came out, like, it couldn't stop. So, like, I wiped myself so quickly, and I went to my husband, like, we need to leave now. We need to go home right now. Let's do this another day. So we went home, and I just laid down, try not to do much. But I knew deep down that was not good. Um, and then, like, it smelled very bad. Like, the odor smelled very, very bad. And like this little, like, gushy stuff was coming out. And then I wasn't feeling cramped at first, but and then later on throughout the day, I was feeling cramps, and I was like, I know this is not normal. And then yeah, you know, excuse me. And so yeah, I went to bed, was still feeling the cramps and all that stuff, and then I was keep bleeding, I was keep bleeding, I was keep bleeding. Every time I went pee, I would bleed. And yeah, I finally went to sleep, but it would just come out like a period. You know how when when you have your period, it just like comes out. So that's how I felt, like it just came out like the blood. And so yeah, it was like around, I was keep on waking up throughout the night to go pee. Um, and then like around 4, which was Friday morning, um, I was just feeling strong, strong, strong pains. I mean, so strong that I couldn't go back to sleep. And I had to wake up my husband. I'm like, we need to go to the hospital. This is, something's wrong. I know something's wrong. We need to go. So he told me, lay down. So I lay down firm. I just barely lay down. Okay, guys, I barely lay down. And then I felt this pressure and literally this pop, like very loud. Even I heard it. And I jumped and I grabbed my husband's arm. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Like, what was that? What was that? Like, oh my gosh. But once I heard that, when I felt that pop, the pain was gone. The pain was literally gone. And then I told Abby, let's go. Let's go to the hospital. Call your mom. Tell her to come and get the girls or stay here. Like, we need to go now. So we got up. I went to the restroom by myself. I started to get ready, and I just threw on the dress that I had the on Thursday, and I'm like, let's go. So he was getting ready, and I was sitting down in the restroom. I brought a chair. I told him to bring a chair so I could sit down in the restroom, and he was getting ready. And then I had an urge to go to the restroom. And I went peeing, still bleeding. And then I guess I don't know where he was. I guess he was going to the living room or something. And then out of a sudden, like I grabbed toilet paper, right, to wipe myself. And I literally felt something was coming out. So I literally had the toilet paper there and it came out. And I looked at it, like I felt it. And I looked at it and I was like, Javi, it's the baby, it's the baby, it's the baby, it's the baby. Like, oh my gosh, like I was shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, it's the baby. So he took it out of my hands, right? And I'm like, Javi, it's the baby. I know it's a baby. So I finished wiping myself. And then I went to go see it. And I'm like, Javi, that's the baby. I know it is. I know it is. And then I sat back down like, we need to hurry up. And then just stuff was coming out. Literally stuff was coming out. I had to put a towel in his truck because it was just literally coming out. Like, it was just coming out. And finally we met Javi's mom in a store, like at a store or whatever, because I didn't really want the kids to know what was going on or where I was, so I didn't want to I didn't want them to see me going into the hospital. I did not want that. So I told her, just meet us at a store. So yeah, we dropped the kids off and we went straight to the hospital. And then literally, like, it was just gushing. I was so scared. Like, oh my gosh, what if I bleed to death here? Like, oh my gosh, like, I was so scared. And before that, I told Javi, bring the baby so we can show it to them. so I we put it in a bag, you know. And then once we got to the hospital, something just told me, like, no, leave it. So I told Javi, don't even bring it down. Leave the baby inside the truck. Leave the baby inside the truck. Do not bring it down because they might end up throwing it away, and I can't. I can't have that. I need that, like, because what if I show it to them, and what if they keep it, and what if they just throw it in the trash, because maybe that's what they were going to do. So I just told him, keep it in the truck. And so he got off, and he told someone. So they brought a wheelchair, and then, like, literally I have no strength in me to even get up. I was so scared from the shock and being scared. I couldn't literally, like, get myself to the chair or get out of the truck, you know. And then, yeah, I finally got off, and I was shaking. I was literally shaking. I was so cold, and I was like this. Like, once I went into the hospital, I guess the shock and the panic just, rushed into my body. And then they're asking me questions. I didn't know what they were talking about. Like, literally, I was just, like, staring. They're like, oh, what's your name? And I'm like, like, what's my name? Like, I'm like, oh, Imelda, blah, blah, blah. They asked me for my birthday, like, when I was born, and I literally had to think about it. And I finally told them and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, have you been to this hospital? And I'm like, yeah, I have. Yeah, I gave birth here. Like, I was so out of it. And yeah, they finally put me in a room, and they, I think they did some blood work, and asked me questions and stuff like that, and they did an ultrasound. So before the ultrasound, I had an urge to go to the restroom, okay? I had an urge to go. And so I told my husband to tell one of the nurses to come so they can take me. So a nurse came, took me to the restroom, and literally I was so scared. I'm like, ma'am, she was so sweet. I'm like, ma'am, can you stay here with me? Can you go inside with me, please? Like, I was so scared. I thought I was going to bleed to death. Like, literally, because I never went through that before. So I was so scared. I'm like, ma'am, and she's like, yes. So literally, like, she was standing there, and I was just, like, peeing. And I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Literally, I freaked out, and I'm so happy that she was there with me, because literally, if I was by myself, I think I would have freaked out even more. Like, this huge chunk. It's so weird how, like, huge chunk just, and that was the sack. I know that was a sack. I know it was. I knew it. That was a sack. And then, like, little things would come out. It was still bleeding. Literally, I don't think it was pee. I think it was just the water and blood coming out. I don't think it was pee at all. So yeah, I think it was just that, but it wouldn't stop, and it wouldn't stop. And then I told her at the end, ma'am, can you step out, please? I just felt something came over me. I'm like, ma'am, can you step out, please? She's like, yeah. And then I just sat down in the toilet for a few seconds. And I was like, wow. And I finally cleaned myself. And I turned around and I looked at the toilet. It was like full of blood. I mean, blood. And I stained everywhere. And I went to go wash my hands, and I told her. So I was like, ma'am, I'm ready to go. And I told her, ma'am, I'm so sorry. There was blood everywhere. So I told her, ma'am, I'm so sorry. Let me just clean up for a little bit. She's like, no, don't worry about it. I'm gonna call someone to clean up. So yeah, they took me back to the room, and then uh, they came to do the ultrasound, and um, and then yeah, they did it, and then they left, and then after a while, the doctor came, and he told me that um, the ultrasound results were in, that there was nothing there, and once he told me, once he told me that there was nothing there, no baby, no sac, no nothing, that hit me so, so hard, because he was confirming it, that it was gone. There was nothing there. Nothing there inside of me. And and he goes, like, I'm so sorry for your loss, stuff like that. And he goes, things happen, but do not blame yourself, because you couldn't prevent it. No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. And so that hit me hard. And so he left, and then a nurse came and said, you're ready to go. You're all clear. Everything looks good. And they told me that I couldn't do nothing for 2 weeks. I couldn't go anywhere. And so, yeah, I couldn't do nothing for 2 weeks. But, so that happened. So that morning I had an appointment, which was Friday. I had an appointment at 8:30 with a doctor to pick up the results of the ultrasound and my levels or something like that. So I told my husband, let's just go, And so I went, and I told him, ma'am, I had a miscarriage. And she was so sweet. She's like, I know, mija, I know, porque I just finished looking at your results, and yeah, your levels went down, mija. Your levels went down. She was so sweet. And she showed me the results, because I told her, ma'am, I don't want the results. I don't want to pay for them, because there's no baby. There's no baby, so I don't want to pay for it, because it was coming out of my pocket. I didn't have no insurance, so I told her, ma'am, I don't want to pay for it. And she's like, okay. And and I told her, ma'am, is there a way you can call the doctor, because I'm not about to pay whatever amount just to see the doctor, and just for her to tell me the same thing as the doctor told me in the hospital. I told her, ma'am, I don't want to spend so much. No, there's no need. She's like, okay, let me call the doctor and see what she wants. So we went back in the truck, and I was waiting for the phone call, and so she called me, and she's like, the doctor just told me that that you don't have to come in. Just don't do nothing for 2 weeks and stuff like that. So I was like, okay. And yeah, that's that. I came home. No, we went to, we went to my mother-in-law's house, and I told her what happened. And I told the girls, I told the kids, oh my gosh, I couldn't hold it in. I just broke out. Like, I just started to cry. And then we told the girls, oh, let's talk. And my oldest one, like, oh, you have good news. And Javi said, no, we don't have no good news. And she goes, it's the baby, right? No good news, or something like that. And then we're like, yeah. And I was gonna say something, but I just it just came out. And so my husband told them, yeah, finally I calmed down. I told them, because they were asking why. I'm like, well, because God needed the baby, And then they're like, why? Why? If I know my little one said, why? If he has a lot of kids, why did he take ours or something like that? And so we hugged them, we hugged them so tight. And my little one barely, she's 5, but my oldest one, I can feel, when I hugged her, I felt it. I felt just like the sadness in her, the hurt in her, because she was so excited. She was so excited, just like I was, that we were excited, And yeah, and then I told everyone else, and so yeah. But now our baby is in heaven with God, and yeah. But I am thankful. I am thankful that I did not hear the baby's heartbeat. I'm so thankful that I did not go to the doctors when I was 6 weeks pregnant, 8 weeks pregnant, because I was trying to go to the doctor's office to hear the baby's heartbeat. So I'm so glad that I didn't hear the baby's heartbeat, because I think it would have been worse for me, because once you hear the heartbeat, it's alive. It's alive. So maybe God didn't want me to hear the heartbeat, you know. But I'm grateful that I did not hear the baby's heartbeat. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. But yeah, that happened to me, and we buried the baby in the backyard. We buried it. My husband digged a hole, and we bought like this little box, this metal box, very, very small like this. And we placed the baby inside. The kids don't know, because I don't want them to see that place and feel sad or angry or depressed or anything like that. Like I don't want that for them, so they don't know. So yeah, we buried it, and it was just so weird how, like my husband said, he was waiting to come home. He was waiting to come home because I was in Louisiana, and it's like, why did I not have a miscarriage in Louisiana? But now I think about it, it's like, you would have been alone. Where would you put the baby at? What would you do with it? What I'm saying, like that. So we feel that the baby just waited to be home. And yeah, we buried it, and that's it. So I bought this frame. I bought this frame at Ross. I'm sorry if I'm whispering, because I don't really want my kids to hear me, even though they're sleeping. But yeah, I bought this at Ross, and where is it? This is the ultrasound right here. So that's the baby right there. So small. So it stopped growing at 8 weeks and 3 days. And I have this little pin that my mother-in-law, because we came like, I believe the 24th, and I told her if she can give me a pin, to buy me a pin so I can wear under my shirt to protect the baby and stuff like that. So she bought it, and I wore it that day. I wore it that day on the second appointment. So this is what it looks like. It's so cute. It has an angel, a pacifier, a stroller, what else? And a safety pin and little feet. Um, so yeah, I wore it that day, and so yeah, I just have it here like this. So yeah, that I think that's really pretty. I love it. Um, so yeah, guys. Um, I think I'm gonna go to bed already. It's already late.